Brian in New York. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I want to talk about the Cup cars or the Cup drivers in the Xfinity.
Fantastic. We never talk about that.
Simple solution. Bring back the IROC series and put 10 cars in. The pole winner from the Xfinity group takes the ball like a bingo thing with all the...
Goodbye, Brian. Here's David in Wisconsin. Hello, David. Ron in North Carolina. Hello, Ron.
Good evening, Dave.
Hi.
Hey, will anything happening in Michigan today?
No.
Oh, no
ARCA practice going on, I think.
Oh, okay. Hey, my favorite cheese is stud cheese.
It's what?
Stud cheese.
See, Ron's 0 for 2 on that. He was going to be a wise guy. Go, anything going on at the track today? When I said yes, he was going to say, how come you're not talking about it? And we kind of popped that balloon because there's nothing going on at the track today, NASCAR related. And then he had to revert back to his 5th grade joke, which wasn't funny in 5th grade either. 0 for 2, Ron. John in Oregon. Neither one of them say anything about trying to take each other out.
That was their intent.
They were
it was Tony's intent.
Yeah. So you think it was his intent to wreck Ryan Newman, huh?
Sure, I sure do.
You don't think he was just trying to move him over and say, hey, man, stop knocking on me or I'm going to knock you back? You don't think it was just as simple as that, huh?
Okay, so what about Brian Scott? I mean, that was clear day that he took it out.
Was. I'm asking you about Ryan Newman.
And yeah, I really do think his intent was to take him out.
All right, fair enough.
Like he does most people, so that's just my opinion.
That might have been a little broad, don't you think? Like he does most people?
Well, most of the time he's taking somebody out. He's just a hothead, that's all he is.
Most of the time he's taking somebody out. So in more than half of the races, Tony Stewart intentionally takes somebody out? You're not really saying that, are you?
Did I say more than half?
You said most of the time. That would be more than half. Most means a majority, which means more than 50%, which means more than half.
Most of his races that he's in. You got me there.
Don't you hate it when you say something real sloppy and somebody calls you on it?
What?
When you're trying to make a point and you just go way off the end of the pier and somebody says, really, Donnie, that's a dumb thing to say. Don't you hate that?
I think he's a dirty driver, in my opinion.
I got it, Donnie. Thank you. I appreciate it. The funny part, he was doing really well, and then most of the time he takes people out. Really? God, he's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of starts. That's a lot of people that he's wrecked. Either that or your statement was really too large. 866 pit lane. Hi, Roy.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Good.
Did you enjoy that All-Star race?
You know, except for the part where I had no clue where I was or what was happening, yes.
Well, I know. That was the greatest part of confusion that I've ever seen.
Yep.
Hey, but Dave, you know what? There was only one complaint I had about the whole All-Star race, and that was the fan vote in the 3 qualifying heats. The second fan vote should not have been in there.
Well, why not, Roy? If it's a fan vote and people get to vote for whoever they want, why would you possibly complain with who the majority of people voted for?
Yeah, but you know what? There were other drivers out there that raced their hearts off.
Did you vote for them?
I couldn't.
Well, then you got no right to bitch, Roy. You didn't cast a single vote. You don't get to complain. You didn't cast a single vote.
Young Blaney should have been the one.
Roy, you should have voted for Young Blaney then.
If I had had a chance, I would have.
Oh, come on. They've had the vote open for months.
Oh, really?
You could have voted months ago. Months ago. You didn't bother to get off your big behind and vote for anybody. And then you call in and complain that the people who did vote somehow got it wrong.
There's more SiriusXM Speedway to come.
For one term, object.
All right, go ahead.
Are you ready? Because I know you're ready to come back with something.
Oh, I'm ready. Go ahead.
It's not 1/12 of the season. It's 1/11 of the season.
Well, let's figure this out.
Okay.
How many races have we run?
3.
How many are there total?
33.
36.
That's 1/11. Or 9.09%.
Tim, are you sure that 3? No, Tim, are you sure that 3 out of 36 is 1/11?
30. You said 3 out of 33 now.
No, sir. No, I most certainly didn't. I know how many races.
Replay it.
Tim, I know how many races there are in the season. I've been
I
here.
know, but the way you worded your statement
Tim,
was 3 of 33. You told me y'all.
Tim.
Yeah.
Can we agree that there are 36 races in the season?
I'm not. No, you didn't get me to agree to that. I don't know. I took you.
Tim.
What you said.
Tim.
Okay.
Tim, stop shouting at me for a minute here.
Pardon?
Swede, how many races are there in a season? There are 36.
I don't know.
No, your name's not Swede. Shut the hell up.
I don't know.
Tim.
I've never tried
Goodbye.
to tell.
Goodbye, Tim. I don't know what his yelling thing is, but it's annoying as all hell.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on your little deal with the flags.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Hey, as far as I'm concerned with NASCAR, that's all political because it's all pure ignorance. That's the
Alvin, we're not going to call each other names around here.
No, it's not.
You're more than welcome to make your point, but you're not welcome to call people that disagree with you ignorant.
Well, the reason I say that because
it doesn't matter why you say it. It doesn't matter why you say it. We're not going to do.
Nothing to do with slavery. It had nothing to do.
Alvin.
With racism.
Alvin, you're making points that have been made here 1,000 times. You're not treading any new ground.
But you're not listening.
Alvin, you're not going to shout me down here because I'm the boss and I got the button. I'm going to tell you this.
Well, then push the button.
Goodbye, Alvin. Careful what you wish for. Just might get it. Gary in Idaho, hello. Rear quarter panel violation.
Right, it was flared out, correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
All right. Now, I don't understand why NASCAR overlooks the 48 on the right rear, just about. Well, you'll see it all chased now. I see the beginning.
So now we're going to do the I watch TV and I can tell whether the car's legal or not. Is that where we're going with this thing?
No, Moody, hear me out, brother.
All right, go ahead.
So we're going to knock the 10. I see the other Toyota Gibbs on the left side. I see the 48 on the right.
And how do you see this again? Let me know just how exactly you see this.
All right, I'm a diehard Dale Senior fan.
No. My question was not were you a diehard Dale Senior fan. My question is how are you determining whether the parts and pieces on these race cars are legal? Are you at the racetrack or are you at home watching on TV?
Both.
End of discussion.
Why?
Because you cannot measure these parts and pieces accurately from the Barca Lounger. Stop.
My Barca Lounger sits about level like everybody.
I don't care if your Barca Lounger's level. You cannot measure whether or not these bodies fit a template from home. You can't. You're taking yourself way too seriously here. You are not capable of doing the job that you say you're doing. You're not. You're just not.
How come I can pick them players?
That's the whole point. You can't. That's the point I'm making. You've convinced yourself that you're smart enough to tech a car from 800 miles away on television, and you're just not, my friend. Sorry.
Technology is awesome.
You don't have any. You don't have any. You have no technology. Your HD TV is not technologically advanced enough for you to tech the cars from 800 miles away. Get over yourself, my friend. 866 Headlight. You to do it, doesn't it? Richard Petty won because he was great. David Pearson won because he was great. Dale Earnhardt won because he was great. Jimmy Johnson wins because, NASCAR likes the Chevrolets. Oh, horse hockey. You know it and I know it.
Oh, it's like that stuff.
Or you should know it.
When I look back at some of the stuff that's going on over the recent years.
Oh, Scott.
Just hear me out for a second.
No, I got to go. I'm up on the press conference. Let me ask you this, though, on my way out. Has Jimmy Johnson ever gotten caught with an oversized engine and illegal tires after a race?
No.
Richard did.
I remember.
Chew on that one for a while, and I'll thank you for your call. Got to run. We got a press conference coming up with NASCAR's Steve O'Donnell. That's next. I'm trying to get Carolina. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Moody?
I'm good.
I'd like to know, I got a question. How can I get this monkey off my back? I got a team in Mooresville that wants me to drive for them in the Truck Series 2016. I'm trying to get some backers. Where in the world should I go?
If I knew that, I'd have my own race team. Didn't you call us a couple of weeks ago on this same subject?
But I mean, I'm doing everything possible to get sponsors, and nothing's working.
Yeah.
So that's why I got to get rid of this monkey on my back, you know?
It's not a monkey, it's the economy. And the problem is, my guess is that you're doing cold calls on people you don't know, correct?
No, I'm going in person. I just came back from
that's what a cold call is. You're walking in uninvited to a company where there's nobody there that you know, and you're saying, "Can I talk to someone about sponsoring my race team?" Correct?
Right.
Okay. So let me ask you this, and I'm not going to get way deep into this because finding sponsors for people is not what we do, and I couldn't do it anyway. But
I understand that.
But when you walk into these businesses,
right,
and the question is, what can you do for us? What's your answer?
Televised, radio, 7 days a week.
Yeah, you hit me with that 7 days a week thing last time, and I didn't believe you then.
Well, that's what it is, 7 days.
How are you? Where are you going to race? Where are you going to race where you're going to be on TV 7 days a week?
Okay, if it's recorded by Speed Channel, you always play replays. Okay.
See, here's part of the problem, Neil.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's part of the problem, because if you gave that answer to a potential sponsor, and they know anything at all about racing,
right,
they're going to throw you out of their office because there's no such thing as Speed Channel, and there hasn't been for at least 2 years now, and they do not show replays of these races all week long. So you've misrepresented what you can offer a race team. That's the last thing you ought to do.
All righty.
So if you're going to promise a sponsor that you're going to get them on TV 7 days a week, any marketing person with half a brain knows that that's absolutely impossible for you to do.
Okay. I have to run it another way then.
If you won the race, you wouldn't be on TV 7 days a week.
No, that's true.
So how are you as a startup team that's almost certainly going to run in the back, at least temporarily?
No, I won't run in the back.
Okay, yeah. Sure you will.
That's my record proves it. Okay?
No, it doesn't. You have no record in the Truck Series. You have no record whatsoever at the national.
My record from day one when I first started racing to the time I stopped racing because of a lawsuit.
What's the highest division you've raced in? Have you raced regionally?
Yes, late model.
Where?
Robinsonville.
Robinsonville is not a regional racing series. That's one racetrack.
Okay.
So you've not raced above the local level?
No.
Neil, I'm really trying to help you here.
I know. I understand that.
I'm really trying to help you here. But if you come into this deal as someone that's never raced above local racing and have been out of the sport, and you just told me you were out of the sport because of a lawsuit. If I'm a potential sponsor, that also gets me to throw you out of my office. But
the sponsor's not going to be involved. Not going to hear about
Neil. Nobody wants to be involved in a lawsuit. But let's just ignore that and pretend you never said it.
Okay, right. Okay, cool.
The worst thing you can do when you walk in to talk to a sponsor is sound like a whack job. And when you walk into a sponsor's office and sit down with their marketing director, and you say, I know I'm going to run up front because I ran up front at Googleville Speedway 5 years ago when I raced last, they're going to look at you like you're insane.
No.
Because the difference between you, where you have raced in the past, and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, take the degree of difficulty and multiply it by 10,000. 10,000.
All righty.
And you need to know that. And you have to avoid going into someone's office and overpromising, because in just your brief 5-minute conversation with me,
right,
you've made 5 or 6 statements that you have no possibility of delivering on. I'm going to run up front. No, you're not. I'm going to win races. No, you're not. I'm going to be on TV and radio 7 days a week. No, you're not. And if you make those kind of statements, you're going nowhere. Nowhere. You've got to be careful about overpromising. Because anybody that knows anything about racing at the national level in NASCAR knows that a guy that's never raced above his local short track is not going to go to the Truck Series and win immediately, and he's not going to be on TV and radio 7 days a week. So you got to stop saying it. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to stop saying things that you know to be untrue.
Okay, I can mention some names that I was supposed to drive for, but unfortunately,
Neil, you didn't. You didn't. That's the thing. You didn't. You've never raced. And listen, I'm not trying to put you down or diminish your accomplishments.
I'm listening to every word you're saying, but I'm not saying you're putting me down because I'm not worried about it.
I'm not. The bottom line is, I don't care who you could have raced for. You didn't. You've never raced above local short track level. The leap that you are trying to make, even if you find a sponsor, is going to be, by a factor of 1,000, the hardest thing you have ever done in your life. And to walk into a sponsor's office and say, I'm going to win, they're going to look at you like you got a third eye in the middle of your forehead. Because they know more than you do at this point. They know that you're not going to be able to keep any of those promises. And why I would want to give money to somebody that comes into my office and lies to me, I don't know.
Well, that's the chance they're taking.
Now you're figuring out why nobody wants to give you the time of day, because you're making ludicrous promises that you can't keep.
Well, my record shows,
no, it doesn't.
I ran big speedways. I ran Pocono. I ran Watkins Glen.
What division did you run at Pocono?
The cart.
A cart?
Yeah.
A cart?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a first, second, and third, and fourth at Pocono. Watkins Glen, I got a second.
Neil, I'm trying to help you here, buddy.
No, I know you are.
I'm trying to give you the straight poop. But every time you open your mouth, you oversell yourself. I won at Pocono. What'd you win in? A go-kart.
Well,
winning a go-kart race does not make you a front runner in the Truck Series. And if you tell people you're going to be a front runner in the Truck Series, they're going to toss you out on your ass, because it's not true.
Well, then I went into then I ran FK Modifieds.
Where?
Where? Up north, Thompson, Connecticut.
Why have I never heard of you? I know that division. How many SK races have you won?
Well, I didn't win any because I was sole owner of my own team.
Well, that's what you're going to be in the Truck Series, and it's 1,000 times harder. So if you can't win, I'm going to give you one final piece of advice, and then we're going to be done here because I need to move on. Okay?
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
There's an old saying: a man's reach should never exceed his grasp. Okay. You're overreaching here.
Yeah, I have a team that wants me to drive for them. Mm-hmm.
What's the name? What's the name of the team?
I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell them that already. To get the sponsorship.
Okay. Well, I wish you luck.
All righty. I appreciate your talk, Mr. Moody.
Okay. All right, man. Thank you. I'm trying to help, and I wish him all the luck in the world. I wish him all the luck in the world. I don't expect that he's going to have success, because unless you've had an extreme amount of success at the local level, you don't move to the regional level. Until you've had success at the regional level, you don't move to the national level. He's skipping not one rung, but 2 or 3 rungs on the ladder. And quite honestly, I can't imagine anybody giving him any money based on the promises he makes that he can't keep. That's the first thing. That's the first thing you learn if you take a seminar on how to try to sell sponsors. Under promise, over deliver. He's doing it backwards. He's promising way, way more than he could possibly deliver.
At least a bit of a pushing match in the trailers, somebody's going to get in trouble.
Who? Who got in trouble?
They're going to find somebody or...
Who got in trouble?
Well, the last incident here the other day with Harvick and them, they didn't.
Yeah, who got in trouble? I don't remember.
Well, look at the throwing the helmets in pit road and...
Who got in trouble?
All of them did, didn't they?
Who did? Who did? Who did?
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I thought that, who was it when Harvick bumped Kyle on pit road? He got...
Well, sure. When you're slamming into people on pit road, when there's pedestrians out there walking around, I get that. But I thought you said pushing people or throwing helmets.
Well,
that to me, I think NASCAR's been pretty clear on that. That's boys have at it territory.
On the track, but nowhere else, isn't it?
Well, then why didn't Kevin Harvick get fined for pushing Jimmy Johnson?
Well, I agree, but there
you go.
Drivers. I mean, drivers are so scripted now, and everything they say out of fear of getting in trouble.
How do you know that?
Well, it's different. I guess maybe I'm wrong about that.
I'm not trying to tell you you're right or you're wrong. I'm just asking where you get your information from, because I talk to these drivers all the time, and I've never had a single one of them tell me, you know, Moody, I'd love to answer that question, but I can't because I'm afraid NASCAR will find me. I've never said once.
Well, Kurt Busch nearly lost his career in an off-mic interview. Dale Jr. got fined for letting the S word go, and I would have to say that.
So you got to go that far back for examples, huh?
Well, no. I mean, I didn't know I was going to get drilled like this. You got me.
I'm not drilling you. I'm just asking. I thought we were having. If this is unpleasant for you, we don't have to do it. I'm just asking you questions. You're making statements about these drivers being terrified to speak, and I'm just trying to figure out where you get that idea from.
So you don't think that driver interviews are so much more bland than they used to be?
Well, I don't know. Who said something that was so spectacular that you've never forgotten it?
I thought the interview when Keselowski, and he didn't get scolded for this, but I was just waiting for it to happen. But when he was nipping a little bit when he won his championship, I thought that was great and everything.
And did he get any trouble for that?
I think he got, not publicly, but I think
Oh, stop. Cut it out now.
if you're going to give me an example, don't give me this top secret, double secret, nobody knew about it except for you punishment. It didn't happen, and you know it didn't happen. Come on.
Okay.
Now, how do you know this? I mean, Doug, I'm trying to let you speak here. Well, then don't waste my time with that crap then.
All right.
You know, I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to be polite with you, but when you say, "Oh, yeah, I know that there was a secret penalty," you don't know baloney.
No, I
Come on, stop it.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't. So when I asked you, did Brad Keselowski get sanctioned, and you say, "Well, no, not publicly, but I think he did." Come on. Unless are you the secret agent in NASCAR? Do you know more than I know what's going on? Because I'm telling you right now, he didn't get sanctioned for saying what he said. NASCAR thought it was awesome.
Okay, good. I'm all in favor for it, then. You don't think that Brad Keselowski has toned down his interviews radically since then?
I love Brad Keselowski's interviews. I read his blog every day. I mean, to tell you the truth, I don't.
And I think Dale Jr. gives the most heartfelt, lays it all out there.
So what's your problem then?
I really think that NASCAR is putting so much hand on things that they're hurting themselves.
But you can't give me a single example.
Well, contemplating this rule right here. That is
No. That was 10 minutes ago, dude.
Okay.
You've been telling me that NASCAR cracks down on these drivers so hard that they don't dare to say anything. I'm just asking you to give me an example or two.
Well, you're going to tell me that Ryan Newman...
Can you give me an example or two?
I don't live it every day like you do, Dave.
So Doug, is the answer no? Is the answer no? I can't give you a single example of what I'm talking about.
Ryan Newman, and I can't tell you the date or time, was censored for saying something against NASCAR.
What did he say? What did he say?
I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Doug. If I'd given him another 30 seconds, he wouldn't have known his own name. I mean, that's awesome. He could win the Olympic marathon going backwards. He is a world-class backpedaler. Just give me an example. Just one example is all I'm asking for. Couldn't do it. I'm pretty sure that he got sanctioned, even though nobody knew about it. Despite the fact that they've let others.
Yes, Kyle. No, because I'm a Kyle Busch hater. That's why.
Okay, Ernie. Thank you. If you can't think any deeper than that, okay, I guess. My first issue is that the word hate in my world gets reserved for people like child molesters, serial killers, and terrorists. I don't hate anybody based on the fact that they drive a race car.
Don't you find it weird how sports fans throw out certain words that other people might find offensive in other-day life and act like it's not a big deal?
Like, I hate him. I just hate that guy.
He's
Why?
a loser.
Because I like someone else.
How about calling someone a loser?
Well,
if you have $1 million in your bank account, odds are you're not a loser.
Yeah, you're right. Kyle's got a nice house, got a beautiful wife, got a baby on the way. He's one of the best in the world at what he does, which most of us will never be able to say. If that's Ernie's definition of a loser or anybody's definition of a loser, sign me up for Loser Town. I want to live there too.
He's also a team owner. Don't forget that.
Oh, right. Only it's kind of like the girls' table at the lunchroom in 7th grade. I hate Cindy. Why? Because Marcia's my friend. And I have to hate Cindy because Marcia's my friend. I have to hate Kyle because I'm a Gordon fan. No, you don't. You can save your hatred for terrorists. Eric in Tennessee.
When you're driving topic of the day about Kyle Busch, that, like, what nobody's saying, one of the things is, like, I mean, when these drivers have these accidents, like, the fans and the public, like, we don't see the proof of these injuries. Like, does people really know if he was really hurt?
You're kidding me, right?
Like, I mean, well, so, like, the fans sometimes just wonder, like, was he hurt? Was he, like, just trying to get, like, fans, like, posts, like, people liking him? Like, I'm just...
I repeat, you're kidding, right?
Well, no, because, like, I mean, the doctor just, like, I think there's, like, a HIPAA law or HIPAA laws, and, like, you can't say people's, like, medical, you know, so, like, just certain people, like, wonder, like, well, was it broke? Was you just sick? Maybe you didn't want to work?
Mary, I've been in this chair for 12 years, Mary. I've seen a lot of black helicopters, and I've seen a lot of people with aluminum foil helmets to ward off the government-controlled mind-bending frequencies. But you, ma'am, are queen.